we have hundreds of educators across the state working together to implement the goals of the project. I think now we have upwards of 200 certified trainers across the state in all regions, and so within a couple of years we have created quite a bit of momentum, and it would be great if we can sustain that momentum so that we truly have classroom teachers in every school, in every district across the state, using the kinds of tools that the project has put together so that we are really analyzing student assessment data to make instruction and intervention decisions for kids. Because when we do that across the state, that's when we'll really see the increases in achievement results that we're looking for.
Oregon schools have been in a constant state of reform and under tremendous pressure to demonstrate increased learning for all students. Our schools have shown gains, but not at a pace acceptable to Oregon educators. The need to demonstrate increased learning and to meet the needs of all students has triggered an interest in using data within schools and districts to drive decision-making and to motivate change.
Educators today have access to a dizzying amount of information, and using it effectively, using data to improve instruction, takes knowledge, practice, and skill. The Direct Access to Achievement Project, the Oregon Data Project for short, helps Oregon educators learn what data to collect, how to interpret the data, and most importantly, how to use the data to improve instruction. The project is funded with a $4.7 million grant from the Institute of Education Sciences and is recognized nationally as a leading model of professional development on data use. It's a grassroots effort with a design driven by the needs of educators in the field. The Data Project has provided training across Oregon to more than 5,000 teachers, administrators, and classified staff, along with school board members, state education officials, higher education representatives, and members of the public. The project has benefited from an unprecedented level of collaboration between educational stakeholders, including Oregon Department of Education, the Education Enterprise Steering Committee, the Oregon Association of Education Service Districts, the Oregon School Board Association, the Oregon University System, and the Confederation of Oregon School Administrators. The Oregon Department of Education has provided the project with vision and leadership. ODE intentionally partnered with skilled staff from education service districts and K-12 districts to design relevant training and ongoing coaching and support. The Oregon School Board Association, with support from the department, created meaningful training for school board members that helps them support district staff by learning what data to look at and what questions to ask. The Confederation of Oregon School Administrators partnered with the Department of Ed and the Education Enterprise Steering Committee to offer an August Assessment Institute that helped prepare more than 400 educators to use their data to reevaluate their district and school plans and to address the needs of all of their students. Now, the Oregon Data Project training is moving to the district, building, and classroom level, with ESDs supporting the efforts of more than 120 school districts as they incorporate the use of data into their efforts to improve student achievement.
The part that I've appreciated about the data teams the most is not being an educator all by myself in my classroom with a closed door. I'm able to pull in all these other minds and use the knowledge that is there, not just solely on myself, but the rest of the people. The other benefit is that we're all here for student achievement and we all want to see our kids grow. And we sometimes forget that when we're in the middle of data and numbers, and being able to be part of that data team process and pull those numbers apart and put the faces and the eyeballs back on those numbers and really realize that we're there for the kids.
We have test scores to prove that this process has worked. Our student success proves that this process has worked. Our attendance has improved. Our graduation rate has improved. Data and PLCs has given our vision a clear direction and has gotten everyone on the same page, so there's a shared vision and a shared direction within our high school.
Well, the work session did one very important thing for this board and for this district, is that it put us all on the same page, working towards the same goal. And that goal being that all of our students can be educated, and with the data collection, now we can pinpoint a little sharper where we have to go.
We're finally all coming together, and you can see these common themes. We're really focusing on student achievement and working with ODE and working with the ESDs. We're all on the same page now, and we all have some real sound research of what we know that looks like.
I was involved with the Oregon Data Project for a couple of years before I actually became a professor here at Western Oregon University. And what I found was that at the university you can become very isolated in how you teach, and so we'll do action research, but we aren't able to really attach that to what's going on in the schools. With the Oregon Data Project, we can in fact be working and using tools that are pertinent and important to what's actually going on in the classrooms in regular schools.
I think the project is more beneficial than I would have imagined as a student here at Western. It's nice that Western grabs onto something that something such as a data project, where there's all this information available, and they are able to filter it down and help show us how to use this information in a way that can help improve student learning and student engagement.
Teachers are looking for tools that they can go immediately into their classroom or into their team planning, use to make sense of data. That's the biggest thing we got out of the data project, were actual tools that we could use to impact instructional planning, to pinpoint what the real problem is. Why aren't kids achieving in a certain area? We had so much data. We have always had data in education. We didn't really know how to analyze it, what it meant, and the data wasn't always current. That's the other positive thing about joining the data project. They help you with key principles regarding how do you get the most current data, how do you analyze the data that you have that will make sense to you and impact learning. So there's different forms of data, and the data project helps us identify what we should be looking at. If we don't have accurate data in front of us, how do we create an assessment so that we can get it? And then move towards all data should be impacting instructional planning, which will then impact student learning.
The Oregon Data Project has provided the opportunity for teachers and administrators to benefit from ongoing professional development support regardless of location or size district. It's very important that we intentionally fund initiatives like the Oregon Data Project that provide the framework needed for quality staff development that advances student learning.